Okay, hanamura on attack. Okay, I want to start off by saying that on most maps, symmetra is not very useful on attack. But on hanamura, she is actually not as bad as compared to other maps. And I'll show you why here. Alright, so at the start of the match here, you can put some sentry turrets behind those signs and that trash can like that. It tends to be a good setup like that. You can put some turrets back here behind
defenses in place.
This post here. That. Over here, you can set up a little bit of a turret nest like this.
Sentry turret placed.
This will help guard enemies trying to reach this health pack or going back through here. That's a decent setup like that. Right here you can put some turrets right here to help stall any enemies that try to make it from here to over here, and it might be able to prevent them from doing that. And back here, one of my favorite spots to put turrets on attack is right here behind this board like this. You can also put a turret right here behind this little board sticking out right there. So this setup here is a pretty powerful setup. Any enemies coming through around this corner here and going through here will have to deal with all these turrets and take a lot of damage from them. I think this is one of the best setups on attack for turrets right there. Going in here, you can set up a turret nest in this room like this.
Sentry turret placed.
Alongside this wall here. And even put one like back in here is a good spot. And also, this is the first potential spot for a teleporter right here. As long as you're able to keep it guarded with these turrets and lobbing orbs here, it may be able to work good for you. I think there's a better spot for a teleporter, and I will show you that in just a moment.
Defenses in place.
So here's some other good spots for turrets right there. It's a good setup like that. Those three. You can put some turrets back up here like this. Other decent spots for turrets.
Turret online.
And I think a better spot for a teleporter, and it's also one of the reasons why symmetra is okay on attack on this map, is that this spot right here is a very good spot for a teleporter right there. It's probably the best spot for attack for a teleporter is right here. Allies will be teleported right above the action right here. You can stay up here, lob orbs, shield allies as they come out of the teleporter, and you can guard the area with sentry turrets like this.
Deployed.
This. So this is a pretty powerful setup here. Moving into the next section here. If you make it back here, you can throw some turrets back here behind these bushes like this.
In place.
Keep in mind these bushes don't appear for everyone depending on your video settings, so keep that in mind. Going over here, you can set up a turret nest behind this fence here.
From light into being.
Like that. Some over here on this side. If you do this also, and your allies are keeping a good pressure on the enemy, this is an okay spot for a teleporter right here. It's a little bit risky, but it can be very effective if you're able to keep it alive. Going down here, as long as your allies are keeping the enemy busy, you can set up some sentry turrets behind that bell like that, and also some sentry turrets above this doorway here. That. Some good spots for sentry turrets right there. You can also put a teleporter right down in here. This is very risky spot, but if the game is in overtime and you need to get a teleporter out ASAP, this can be a really good spot right here. It's a bit risky, but it can help save the match. Going on over here, if you want to be a bit sneaky with your teleporter, you can get over here and put your teleporter like right over here. This is kind of risky, but you might be able to get away with this spot because most enemies, as they come back, run back to the fight, most of them don't even go this direction. So you may be able to get away with it right there. allies will be teleported out and can either go down here or they can go up here and fight from up here. So it's a good tactic. It can be a good tactic to do that. And here you can also, another risky spot for a teleporter is right here. This also can be effective. You can keep it guarded with some sentry turrets above this choke point here. You can stay here, spam orbs. Some other spots for sentry turrets is back here behind this boardwalk here.
Turret in place.
Most enemies, as they run back to the fight, they will have to just like run off this boardwalk, and they will have to deal with all those turrets like that. It's a pretty deadly setup. You can throw some turrets back here behind this rock like
Sentry
this.
turret placed.
You can set up some sentry turrets down here. There's also some good spots for turrets right here. Okay, so moving on to the next section here. Okay, so once your team has taken over point A and you're moving on to point B, there's a few random
Turret
spots where you can
deployed.
put turrets at. Like you put one there behind that rock right there, put one behind this bush here, put one like in this well there, put one behind this bush here, maybe one this bush here. Keep in mind these
Turret
bushes,
online.
like I said, these bushes don't appear for everyone depending on your video settings. Alright, so this is a good spot for a teleporter right here. This does save a chunk of a walking distance. And you can secure it by putting some turrets in here like
Sentry
this.
deployed.
I do think there's one better spot for a teleporter, and I will show you that here in just a moment. Alright, so you can set up a turret nest at this choke point here. I recommend
place.
putting them on this little ridge here like this, and same thing over here. Alright, so that's a
From
pretty
light
good
into being.
sentry turret setup like that. And, alright, so right here, another spot for teleporter. I think this is one of the better spots, actually. I think this, if not the best spot for point B. This is a really good secure location. Not many enemies go in here, so you may be able to get away with
Fences in place.
keeping it alive much longer. You can throw some turrets in here to keep it alive a bit longer also. Going in here, you can set up a turret nest right up here. 2 or 3 on this
Sentry
side.
turret placed.
And then 2 or 3 on this side. That's a pretty strong
From light
turret
into
setup
being.
right there. Going in here, you could throw like a few up in here if you wanted to. Secure this location a little bit. Down here, you can set up a turret nest in this room.
Sentry deployed.
Something like that. All the way down along this wall is a good spots. Also, right here, potential spot for a teleporter. This is also very risky. You may be able to get away with this, having some allies getting teleported out of here. And you can stay here, spam orbs. This is a good spot for spamming orbs also. And you may be able to keep that teleport alive for a while. Going in here, some other spots for sentry turrets is right here on this wall here. Just
Aligning
put like a
defense
couple
system.
on here in this wall there. In case the enemies come running down off of here, they will end up taking a lot of damage here. Up here, just like on defense, you can put some turrets up in here to guard this
From
health
light
pack
into
like
being.
that. Alright, so going up here on these steps up here, a few things I want to mention. You can put some turrets back up here like this.
From light into being.
And even up here in this ridge up here, or also up in here. Lots of different options for sentry turrets here. And you can also, back behind here, you can put some turrets up in here,
Turret
also
in place.
to help secure this these entryways. Back over here, when your allies are on point B and trying to take it over, you can be putting up sentry turrets back behind this thing.
Defenses
These
in place.
posts here. It tends to be a good strategy. Okay, so going on in here, you can line up turrets on this wall back here,
Aligning defense system.
and maybe even one up here for good measure. And just like on defense, you can also put a few turrets up in here to maybe kill
Turret
off
online.
any enemies that are trying to run for this health pack here. And you can, some other random spots for turrets, you can put like 1 or 2 back behind this post here
Sentry
like that.
turret placed.
Going up here, here's another decent spot for a turret right there. And, yeah, I mean,
Defenses in place.
that pretty much does it for attack on Hanamura. I do think that she works better on attack with this map than most other maps, mostly because of how much better use of teleporters come into play for attack. There's better spots for teleporters on attack than most other maps. Alright, thanks for watching.